really try to help the television manufacturers change the world very quickly, and we try to help the cable and satellite providers keep up. And so the thing I think that's exciting is that on either coast, in New York and in California, people are talking about cutting their cord and getting their television for free, and I sit there and think, who's going to pay for the great shows?
On that, we figured out how to use over-the-air broadcast transmissions combined with the internet to create a hybrid delivery system, which we've seen in the cord cutting, cord thinning, cord splicing phenomenon. Either way you look at it, there are hundreds of thousands of consumers dropping out of the bottom of the pay TV pyramid every quarter.
How many subs you got?
What's that?
How many subs you have?
At this point we have a couple thousand. And we're growing out of LA. We have, internationally, we just announced that we're launching in Malaysia. And what's interesting internationally is the clean, over-the-top wireless broadband is going much faster.
A document from the FCC actually that lists about 6 or 7 content companies that we were in advanced deals with, but Comcast blocked our ability to do deals with them. So we would very much like to clear up this fallacy that we are some kind of pirate site that just went out to start using other people's content without permission. In fact, we are paying the broadcasters under the Copyright Act as we were instructed to do by the FCC. And the FCC and the DOJ have investigations going on now about why Ivy was having these roadblocks from Comcast and others that were preventing us from doing deals. Richard did a really great panel at CTAN West, which I attended, and it was interesting. Everybody on that panel from the industry, from the cable side, kind of, they didn't really want to admit that Ivy built a better mousetrap. The Fox executive even said that, but that we had not engaged in conversation with the content owners, which is absolutely completely false. And you can go to the FCC website and the evidence, the channels that have come forward, Univision, Wealth TV, WNCN, Tennis Channel, Outdoor Channel, Documentary Channel. These are all people that want to be in business with Ivy, but Comcast has threatened them that if they were to do so, that they would yank them.
I was at TiVo in 1998 when every network simultaneously sued us. And within a year, every network had invested in us. If you've got money and power, you're going to protect your current business model, even if you're in the wrong. You may just sue just to slow things down so you can catch up.
That's absolutely right. I actually had an NBC Universal executive say to me, confidentially off the record at a dinner over wine, that they actually perceive IVTV as an extension of their current business model. We are doing a deal with Nielsen. We are increasing their eyeballs and their rate card. We are good actors in this space. We are not pirates. The lawyers for the broadcasters in this period of time when we're, advancing, negotiating in a very high stakes kind of way with guns pointed at each other's heads, would like to, kind of brandish us as pirates, but there's no evidence to do it.
If cord cutting is going to happen, it's going to involve broadcast television. We all are accustomed to our ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox channels. For us to give that up, it's not going to happen. So I think all of these different approaches that are happening, first of all, I agree with them. I think they're good. But to do it, you have to do it right.
Yeah, we didn't see it. The cord cutting thing was not like a phenomenon. We did a lot of qualitative research in the beginning. We heard crazy stories, people who would cut the cord in the household, and somebody else had the cord in their bedroom, and when their friend was away from the house, they would sneak into their bedroom and watch shows there. So it's there's an appetite for TV content and movies still that's out there that is not yet served in the way that most consumers want to have it.
Karate Kid line. Wax on, wax off. Cord on, cord off, cord back in.
Yeah, but that said, the CTAM was someone who's involved in that study, and that's sort of like having RJ Reynolds Tabasco determining whether or not cigarette smoking is healthy. And when CTI did all the research about whether or not cell phones cause brain cancer, it was interesting that when they were the ones studying the findings, that the results were very positive. I'm a member of CTM, I like it, but I find the results a little bit dubious. SNL Kagan has a new study that came out 2 days ago, and it says, however, it is becoming increasingly difficult to dismiss the impact of over-the-top substitution on video subscriber performance. So this idea of sticking our head in the ground and pretending like cord cutting isn't happening is, that's kind of like the music industry in 1997 pretending like MP3 and digital downloads weren't going to revolutionize the industry, and I think we all know how that played out.
I really believe, whether you call it cord cutting or not, consumers are changing very rapidly. No one can deny the way we view and the way we consume content is changing. So we've gone in and created a base tier of traditional programming, linear and on-demand, and then we build a bunch of on-demand subscriptions on top of that. And we sell transactional content. So when you look at the overall revenue per user as a content provider, you can actually make more money. We've done a lot of market research over the last 2 to 3 years, and we found that in our price range for the content offering we have about 70% of consumers really like it. Now the other 30% that need NFL Sunday Ticket, that are diehard, high-def sports fans, we're not catering to them. We're well served right now. The high end of the market is well served. We're not going for that. We're really going for this next wave. When you look at where consumers spend their entertainment time, it's getting more fragmented. So the dollars they're allocating to TV is changing.
What is the future of guidance, given the shift, if not cord cutting, cord shading, cord shifting to different cord, doesn't matter. How do people find content? And he's absolutely right that the grid guide is a dying, not a dying, but a lot of people feel very comfortable with the grid guide, and it's where they start. But it's not necessarily the best way to find television. It worked really well when there were 40 channels. It stopped working past 100 channels. People still use it with 500 channels. When we start talking about 5,000 and 5 million places you will get content, the guide is not the place to go. 83% of people, when they sit down to watch television, have no idea what they want to watch. So the idea that they're going to pull up a search menu and pull a keyboard onto their lap is probably not entirely accurate. So it will come from recommendation. What are the most popular shows on tonight? What shows are my favorite actors in that are on tonight? What shows are my friends watching on Facebook? What shows are highly ranked? All of those things are metadata. All of those things will help guide you, and you will build basically an entertainment portal. And it will be just for you, which means it's not just for your daughter or just for your spouse. It's just for you.
I've been told by many people that flying a Cessna airplane is easier than operating Google TV at this stage. But I think down the road it will definitely improve. Apple TV is still in hobby mode. I've had meetings with Apple where they say to me, if we can't sell a set-top box, nobody can. But it's still early in those days. So I think things have to become easier, and standards like we spoke about in San Francisco are very important. In the meanwhile, there's easy things like Ivy that you can download. It's a super lightweight app and bandwidth live television playing on any internet-connected device.
I would just say Google TV or Apple TV, if they figure out live, will be closer to television nirvana than we ever have been. And we'll be closer to cord cutting than we